Over the past few years, I've used a number of different identity monitoring services. Now, it's taken me a while, but I've settled on IdentityGuard as the one that, at least for now, is what I use and recommend. This is not a sponsored video. Okay, I'm gonna pause here for just a moment as I'm editing this video. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that you don't know about from me as a YouTube creator. And in this case, not only was this video not sponsored, but IdentityGuard's parent company, Aura, has now cut all ties with me because of this video. However, I'm gonna leave this review as is, and if you're interested, I'll explain at the end the full story of why I stand by my review, but will not be promoting IdentityGuard moving forward. Cool? All right, let's get back into it. These are my honest opinions about what I like and what I don't like, as well as a peek inside my dashboard to see how it works. Welcome to All Things Secured. My name's Josh, and if you take nothing else away from watching this video, I hope you'll hear me on this one thing. It's worth your time to be proactive about your identity monitoring instead of reactive. I mean, it's pretty standard for all identity monitoring services nowadays to offer $1 million in ID theft insurance. But if you get to the point that you're trying to make use of that insurance policy, you've already lost the game. For this reason, my priority in this review is looking at the monitoring features more than the theft recovery features. For one thing, I thankfully haven't had to use their recovery services and insurance, but also we have more control over the prevention of identity theft than we do the actual theft recovery. So what does a service like IdentityGuard even do? Well, the best way to answer that is to just let you see my dashboard. Right off the bat, you see that I have 8 alerts, which I'll explain in a moment, along with my credit score and my credit report. I've also installed their little browser extension that blocks phishing sites, insecure sites, and ads. I can also have them review my social media privacy settings to let me know where there might be cause for concern. Again, I'll show you what they found in just a moment. And finally, they provide a place to find how to create credit freezes and then store any freeze pins that I'm given. And if you saw my video last month, you know that I highly recommend doing a credit freeze, not just on your account, but also for your spouse and your kids. And speaking of my wife and kids, you'll see that I'm also monitoring the data for all 3 of them. IdentityGuard allows you to add every adult who resides at your home address and as many kids for whom you are a parent or guardian. Now that's the dashboard. But what you didn't see was all the information I entrusted to IdentityGuard so that they can alert me if they find it anywhere. That includes very personal things like my social security number, my date of birth, address, credit card number, driver's license number, even my passport number. This kind of trust is required for any identity monitoring service you use, and that's why it's super important that you choose a company that you feel comfortable with. And I'll give you a little more background info on IdentityGuard and the parent company Aura in just a moment. But once they have this info, they monitor for any kind of fraudulent usage and alert you to what they find. So let's take a look at the alerts I've received so far. The high-risk alerts you see here happened when I was working with my bank, which is Chase, to fix something on my account. I'd called them up, and since I'm overseas, I had to go through a number of different verification processes. This, unbeknownst to me at the time, triggered some sort of ID verification transaction, and this came up as an alert after I hung up the phone. Now, it's important to stop and note that for the sake of this YouTube channel, I've actually signed up for a couple of different identity monitoring services, many of which are brand names that you've probably heard of before. But when Chase did an ID check on me, the only monitoring service that alerted me was IdentityGuard. Now this, among other things, is one of the reasons why they become my go-to recommendation for identity and credit monitoring services. Now, if I scroll down here, you'll see that they also went through all my social media posts and alerted me to anything that might be inappropriate or might reflect poorly on me. Honestly, all of these were pretty humorous to me and nothing I ended up changing, but I can see where this might bring up something you forgot you posted 10 years ago that you should probably take down now for the sake of future employment or something like that. I should mention that I also get these alerts on my phone since I downloaded the IdentityGuard app. The app does pretty much everything that you saw on my desktop dashboard, including tracking my VantageScore, credit score, notifying me of new alerts, and allowing me to add new pieces of information on my watch list. But again, we're going back to this issue of trust. I'm trusting this one company with a lot of data, so it's important for me to know who they are. So let's dive into that for a moment. First things first, IdentityGuard is a product of a company called Aura, which was officially formed in 2019 by the combination of an antivirus brand called Intrusta and this identity monitoring brand IdentityGuard. Now, this ID monitoring service has been around for more than 20 years, at least according to their website, and they're very transparent about their leadership and company structure. I personally feel pretty confident using their service because I'm not aware of any data breach that has happened in the past, and they're consistently recognized for their best practices in data security and privacy. That being said, my one hesitation with Aura has to do with their suite of products. I remember when LifeLock was acquired by Norton, and all of a sudden, I was being upsold on every Norton product that they had. I was no longer a LifeLock member, I was a Norton LifeLock member, and they wanted me to buy their antivirus software, their VPN software, and anything else they could think up. It was quite annoying, frankly, and it was the primary reason that I left LifeLock. Now, Aura hasn't done this yet, but they're positioning themselves to do exactly the same thing. So this is my message to Aura if you're watching this right now. I like your identity monitoring product. I really do. But if you go down the same path as LifeLock and use my subscription with IdentityGuard to market all your antivirus, all your VPNs, and who knows what other products you have, I'm not going to be happy. I purchased IdentityGuard because I needed an identity monitoring service. That's all. Okay, rant over. As I close up this review, let me be clear about two things. First, there's not much being offered with IdentityGuard, or with any identity monitoring service for that matter, that you can't do yourself. You can set your own credit freezes, check your own credit score or credit report for free. And many banks now even offer identity monitoring, although it's usually only with one credit bureau and not all three. Second, you need to understand what a service like IdentityGuard can't do. They can't prevent identity or credit fraud. They simply provide timely alerts so that you can fix it as fast as possible. And that kind of speed is key to recovering from identity theft. Also, they don't correct errors on your credit report. They just show it to you. In the end, though, my recommendation is this. If you know yourself well enough to know that you won't take the time to check your credit report and you won't go through the trouble of setting up your credit freezes, then paying $100 a year to monitor you and your family is a no-brainer. All right, pausing one last time to explain why I'm no longer working with IdentityGuard, despite this obviously positive review. Now, I'm going to be really transparent with you here because the more that this YouTube channel grows, the more important it is that I maintain my credibility with you, my audience. I don't hide the fact that I have an affiliate relationship with many of the companies that I promote. What this means is that whenever you purchase a product through my link, I'm sometimes compensated by that company. I'm required by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, to disclose that relationship, at least in the US, and I do. Now, obviously, this can be abused. This type of affiliate marketing can be abused, and the only way to make it work is if I, the creator, can build enough trust with you so that you know that I'm only promoting the things that I actually use and companies that I believe in. Otherwise, I'm just shilling whoever pays me the most money, and unfortunately, that does happen with some channels. Now, one potential problem is that some companies think that because they're paying me, they have control over the content I create. And that's what's happened here. IdentityGuard mandated that they be allowed to edit and review my review and anything else I write about them, or else they wouldn't pay me for any customers that I refer. They incorrectly assumed that money is what mattered most to me, and in the process, they showed me their true colors as a company. They were blurring the lines between an independent affiliate and a contracted marketing position, and I'm not comfortable with that. Based on email correspondence with them, their view is that they're concerned about FTC compliance and making sure that what I say about their product is accurate. And I get that, but this is a review. I mean, I can't do my job building trust with you if they can't trust me. Does that make sense? And understand that FTC compliance and product accuracy is my responsibility, not theirs. My credibility is damaged if I don't disclose my affiliate relationship, and if my review is full of errors, it's on me, not them. I've worked with over 50 different companies as an affiliate over the years, including other identity monitoring services. And do you know how many of them have required a legal review process? Just one. And that's IdentityGuard. Honestly, it makes me a little bit mad, but I'm not going to go back and change this review to be a negative one because that too would be some sort of affiliate bias if I'm putting a negative review because you're not paying me. So instead, I've left it here with an asterisk to explain why I won't continue to promote a service that I genuinely enjoy using from a company that I genuinely don't respect. If you have any questions or comments about what I'm saying here, then leave them in the comments below and let's have a discussion about it. And since there is no affiliate link in this video, the best way that you can support what I'm doing here is by liking the video and subscribing. It really means a lot to me.